They declined to wear the rainbow, and it drove a reporter nutso. Not quite a rhyme, but I'll take it. 5 baseball players on the Tampa Bay Rays, named after Ray Arroyo. If only I could say his name. They opted out of I know it wasn't even close. They opted out of wearing pride patches on their uniforms at a Pride Night game honoring LGBTQ Pride Month to celebrate gay pride. If I say pride one more time, I get my own float in the parade with my dancers Hans, Clive, and Fritz. Now, the baseball players cited their religious... Calm down. They cited their religious beliefs. One of them, Jason Adam, telling the Tampa Bay Times, it, quote, comes down to a faith-based decision. He adds that he wants gays to know they all are welcome and loved here. Welcome and loved here. Those sound like fighting words. So leave it to ESPN, which used to cover sports, to weigh in on the show called Around the Horn, which is also the instructions I give to my waxing specialist.
This is not just about baseball. That religious exemption BS, which is used in sport and otherwise, also allows for people to be denied health care, jobs, apartments, children, prescriptions, all sorts of rights. And so we have to stop tiptoeing around it because we're trying to protect people who are trying to be bigoted from asking for them to be exempt from it when the very people that they are bigoted against are suffering the consequences.
Exactly. Choosing not to wear a patch is the same as denying someone an apartment. She squeezed in one more B word before the segment ended.
It's not just about accepting bigotry within the halls of sport. It's about encouraging people to learn and get educated so that that changes.
So according to ESPN, the players are bigots for not wearing the pride patches, which was optional, by the way. So you better do it, or they're going to call you a bigot. At ESPN, they're so accepting of everyone who thinks just like them. But if you're going to force employees to wear patches, just make sure it's for a cause that everyone can support.
Why?
I don't know why. Guy, I go to you for, not because you love men, but because you love baseball. You love baseball, and, you know, it's optional. Why? Is it right to compel people to do things? Isn't that, I mean, this is just wrong. It's wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. You're going to burn in hell. Respond.
You want to talk about wrong, Greg?
Yes.
I can't help but notice
yes.
that you all, despite my multiple emails on this, are not wearing my mandatory celebration pride socks. None of you. Not one of you. And you all responded in your own little group text, and I know that, and
yes.
you show your pride at, like, the Zaddy Raven P10. I'll see you there.
Yes.
But in all seriousness, I saw the story. I thought immediately about Colin Kaepernick.
Right.
And the kneeling. Which was his free speech.
Yes.
And we were told that was good, and even if it's offensive, too bad, he has a right to speak. But compelling other athletes to wear something on their body is what? I'm just trying to keep straight what the rules are.
That's
here.
A good one. Keep straight.
And the other thing is, as a member of the community,
yes,
it doesn't really mean very much to me if someone is wearing something to make me feel good, but wearing it against their will.
Right.
It
yes.
means nothing.
Exactly.
It means it's compulsory, and it does not help anyone, in my opinion. Wear it if you want to wear it. That is good. If you don't, let's play ball and enjoy the game.
Oh, I'm glad you said enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a baseball fan, Greg, as we've established.
Because that play ball thing can go anywhere. He makes a really good point, though. This is just like the pronoun stuff. It's like if you want to be called something by pronoun, Kat, how does it make you feel if you know it's being forced? It's like that, you know, you have to do it or you'll lose your job.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I think it actually could create more harm because it's creating a false reality.
Yeah.
Because then everyone thinks, okay, everybody really wants to wear this. I'd rather have knowledge of who does and who doesn't. And I think a lot of times these people who push this kind of stuff, I don't know how, but they don't seem to understand that, forcing someone to shut up or forcing someone to say they agree with you isn't the same as getting them to understand or accept you. So if that's your ultimate goal, then that's the last thing you should be doing.
Tyrus, I thought this stuff would die down, but why does the NFL have to participate in everything?
Well, it's just NFL baseball because they all deal with corporations, sponsors. Because I find it laughable that you want to attack a player who's basically saying that while I accept the lifestyle, I just don't want to wear the patch.
Yeah.
But yet you will do nothing about the corporations you work for that they will put gay pride flags up everywhere, and they'll do those things in places where it's accepted and we're all working towards normally and equality. But they don't do that in the Middle East. They don't do it in other companies. They don't have the balls to do that. They'll come after and attack where it's safe. The UK, America, where we're all at the table. And we have differences, but we're all at the table. And they never, ever go after these companies. They always pick out like those guys because they support it. They just don't want to wear it. That's like me coming in here every day in February going, hey, all right, tell me something great about my blackness. Where's it at? Because, Guy, I'm still waiting for my tribute for the 28 days of Black History Month.
Yeah.
I assume that because we get along and we talk all the time that you didn't have to acknowledge my blackness every day. After a while, I'll be honest, I get annoying.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it'd be different if they were like, I'm not playing in the game because I don't support this, and they're wrong and they did something like that. Then, no, absolutely not. But that's not what they're doing.
That's true. And so the thing that gets me is the idea that this was, quote, optional, but you could see the fallout if you don't do it. Is anything really optional in this new climate?
It's actually one of the main problems with this is that it isn't really optional.
Yeah.
There is the authoritarianism implicit in some of these things, but there's also an issue here, which I think is this horrific journalism. I mean, this is a journalist who's supposed to be covering sports, and it's like this syndrome where people figured out that they could make a name for themselves by opining on their absurd political views rather than covering the great talent that they see on the field or come up with interesting stories there. And that's almost as offensive as anything else.
It's the same thing that's happening at the Washington Post and elsewhere. They are hiring people not for the job that they're doing, but for what they perceive that person adds on, like, Twitter or are ticking a box, and then what you have is your actual brand dissolves. ESPN is not about sports. The Washington Post isn't about journalism. It's about identity, ticking the boxes, and everybody's terrified of not ticking the right box. And I think I'll end on that note because I sound almost smart.